Okay, so before I start this video, I want to give a bit of background knowledge on myself. So basically, I go to a college and I study games development. One time I had an assignment and it was create a game in Unreal. And you know what? It looks exactly like this one. Well, not exactly, but it uses a lot of the same textures and it has a lot of the same parkour elements. So really, it is very similar to the one that I made. And I feel like that's what this game is. It's an assignment that someone decided, hey, I'll flesh it out more and then put it on Steam. Not like there's anything wrong with that, I'm just saying. Also, I hope that you like this footage of me just failing at this parkour level, because the rest of the footage got corrupted. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of the video. But I'm not just going to beat this dead horse of a game and just not explain why I'm doing it. So let me elaborate on this feels like a student's game. And there's a few reasons. The first reason is it uses some of the basic textures that you'll find when you load up Unreal for the first time. Specifically this one. I know because I've used this one before in an assignment that I had. And the second reason is the fact that they give you the basic model that you get for the AI when you first load up Unreal as the AI that you fight against in this game, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't. But basically what I'm trying to say is they used the model and they just tweaked it a little bit, so they made it different colours. And I don't know if they do any specific type of damage depending on what colour they are. I don't know if they take any more damage. All I know is that they've just replaced the colours of the previously existing models. Also the music. There is music, and there's about one track, I think. Or at least I only heard one track. I've only played the first level, so I couldn't tell you how many tracks there are. But it's okay, I suppose. From the bit that I've heard, it's alright. I don't know if the creator made it themselves, but, you know, it's alright. Okay, so now on to the actual gameplay itself. So, you basically do a mixture of parkour and shooting from what I can gather. So basically the first part of the first level is parkour, and it's parkour over a bunch of water, and that was hard, but I'm going to get onto that later. The second one is a shooting thing where you basically have to shoot a bunch of stuff. I know I'm describing it very well, but the thing is, what I want to talk about is you get a number of guns. Now you get infinite pistol with infinite ammo, which you'll probably want to use most of all because ammo is fairly scarce in this game. You get a pistol with a silencer on it. I don't know if the silencer actually does anything, but I think it's more powerful than the infinity pistol. There's the machine gun, which is okay. It's probably the best weapon in the game. There's the shotgun. I don't think I've ever killed anyone with the shotgun. Not through lack of effort, through lack of... Yeah, it was actually probably due to lack of effort. But still, that's all the weapons. There are other weapons in the game, and you see them hovering about. I don't know how to pick them up. The game never specifies that. So I'm just going to assume that you can't. But you probably can, but I can't be bothered finding out. Also, in my last video, I didn't mention the amount of levels that there are in a game, so I'm going to mention the levels in this one. There's actually a surprising amount of levels in this game. There's about 12? I'm trying to do this from memory. I think there's about 12 because I don't take notes. And basically, that's quite a bit. And that's quite a bit of content that I'm never going to play because I have only played the first level. And I'm not going back. Also, one other thing to mention before I go on is the inventory system. Because there is an inventory because you can pick up things. And I don't know what things. Well, no, that's a lie. I know one of the things you can pick up, and they were like these weird tube things. I'm describing this very well, but essentially they're like collectibles in the game. They pretty much do nothing so far as I'm aware, and I found them in the 2 segments of the first level that I played. So presumably there's one for each segment of each level. Now, going on to the specifics of what the levels look like, or the level that I played looks like. So basically the first part of it was this parkour bit where you had to jump over these platforms, and if you land in the water, you die. So, I'm not going to tell you how many times I failed at that, because it's embarrassing, But let's just say it's a fair few times. It took me about an hour, but that's not important. The important part is that I did it and I got onto the next part. Now, the part after that is this shooter bit, because weirdly, the first part of ShooterSpheres doesn't have any shooting in it. Not what I would have gone for, but whatever. Anyway, so the second part, you've got to shoot these things. That's great. No, but basically, you've got to press these buttons to unlock this electrocuted door. And basically, there's a few buttons. There's a few around the edge of the map. There's a few in places. There's like this room, and then there's another room, and then there's another room after that. And basically, you've got to find these buttons. And yeah, that's not particularly easy either. This entire game is not particularly easy, and I was playing it on easy mode. Well, it's not that it's not particularly easy. It's more so the fact that it's time consuming. It took me a long time to get to the part that I currently am at now. And I don't think it's worth it playing the rest of the levels to try and find a few more features to talk about in this video. Also, whilst I'm bashing this game for no particular reason, let's talk about the AI in it. Because the AI is not particularly intelligent. It is rather dumb in my opinion because it cannot see very long distances. It's a bit like Skyrim's AI where it's just like you murder its friend and then it just leaves you alone, except these ones don't talk at all. Also, there was this one time where I was being chased by it and it walked into an electrocuted fence on purpose. And I just laughed because it wasn't meant to do that, and if the AI was more intelligent, it would have known not to do that. But the second segment of the game, whilst I do make fun of it a bit, it is alright. It's a bit more than just gun shoot, which the developer could have easily just made it like that. But he definitely put a lot more creativity into the second segment, because there are multiple puzzles that you have to solve, and you know, there's mechanics in it that he didn't necessarily have to add, but he did anyway to make it more realistic. Well, not more realistic, but just better in general, I'd say. And yeah, I appreciate that. It shows that he's not just putting this out here to make a few pennies, he's actually put time into it, so that's good. Now, the last thing I want to touch on before finishing this video is ironically the opening part of the game. And it's a bit weird because you've got this weird camera zoom in thing that happens, and it's on a very weird image and with very weird music in the background, and I'm not a big fan of it. And then you've got a bit of story, which is the first thing you see, and that is also a bit weird because I don't think that there is anyone on this planet that actually cares about this story.
Fuck you say to me, you little shit!
And thirdly, to get to the first chunk of the level, you have to go down this chute. And that's actually quite fun. Like, it has this kind of good sound effect. It's repeated a lot more than it should be, but it's still quite good. So, what do I think of this game? Well, I think it's okay. Like, it functions, which is more than the trailers would have you believe. But it doesn't feel like it should be worth £8. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention in the video was that it accidentally uninstalled itself, and I wasn't going to wait half an hour to wait for it to reinstall itself, so that's why I don't have the specifics of more of the game. Right, I think that's it. So if you've lasted this long in this video, congratulations, and if you could leave a comment telling me what I did right and what I did wrong, I'd appreciate it. Anyway, that's it. Bye.